Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to Do Space's webinar, our basically kind of our lunch and learn today. My name is Kim. I'm a community learning specialist with Do Space, and I am here to introduce our um, basically our webinar instructor today. We have Miles Davis with us. He is a local Omahan, and he is the owner and developer of the Afterlife LLC, which is a social media marketing company. And so he is going to be kind of giving you a series of for the next couple of weeks, I believe. I think, is it a 5 or 6 part series, Miles? Correct me on this.
It's a 6-part series.
6 part series.
Today,
Thank you.
so it's 6 parts, other than today's introduction. So I guess it's 7 parts.
Perfect. Okay, so 7 part. Today's part. We'll say part 1, and today is going to be the intro to social media marketing. So thank you, Miles, for joining us for this series, and thank you, Juan, for joining. Just so everybody is aware, if you are maybe late coming in, I'll put this in the chat as well. But we record all of our webinars and put them on our Do Space YouTube channel. So if you are late or need to leave early or something like that, these will be posted on our YouTube channel later. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Miles, and go right ahead.
Hi, everybody. Again, you can, if you have any questions throughout this, you can put it in the Q&A, and then we can get to those towards the end. So just an introduction about myself. Again, my name is Miles Davis. I'm the owner of the After LLC. We are a digital marketing agency, as Kim said, and so we specialize in social media marketing. I work with a few small businesses and nonprofits with their social media marketing efforts. I've taught this course at DoSpace previously when we were in person. This is my first webinar with DoSpace, so I'm excited to be here. We're just going to get started. Today's going to be an overview of why social media is important for your business or for your organization, what it can do for you, kind of get you guys just a kind of a taster of what we're going to be talking about for the next few weeks. We're going to show you guys how to create a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account today. So that's going to be our interactive part of today. But really, I'm just going to talk about why social media marketing is so important and how it helps to grow your business or your organization. One of the first things is that it creates brand recognition. If people don't know who you are, then they're not going to request you by name. In most businesses, because we're in such a sea of businesses and people creating projects and organizations, that people are going to start requesting by name. They already are. So we want to create brand recognition. It's one of the most important marketing goals for your business or your organization, is to create recognition surrounding your brand. And one of the benefits that social media has that is different than traditional media, such as print, TV, radio, is that it can get your brand in front of people much, much quicker and much more efficiently. They're able to connect with you a lot easier through social media than they would, say, a radio ad or a TV commercial. So social media is important and a very strong tool in creating brand recognition. Another thing is that it helps to generate a conversation about your brand. You want people talking about you. You want people to say, "Hey, did you see that crazy new commercial on social media?" Or share your content on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. People talking about your brand is going to make it stick in their mind. You want that. So social media is a great way for you to accomplish that, to start a conversation around your brand, and be a part of conversations around products and services that you may offer in your business or organization. Just a tip, engage with your audience when they comment on your social media messages, for example. Those types of things are able to create relationships with your customers and your followers, and then they're able to really connect with your brand, and thus continuing to create that funnel of sales for your business or that funnel of connection for your organization. Another thing is learning how to connect with your audience through social listening. So social listening is the act of monitoring social conversations around topics. It helps to understand what's important to your audience and identifies trends your target audience is following. So when you're listening to your social media followers and your social media community, you're really able to adapt your business and your organization's model in order to reach your target audience more effectively. You'll learn what they're struggling with, what your content can help them with, what your products and services can help them with, and then you'll be able to really address those pain points for your customers by practicing social listening. So again, this is a great way to use social media is to really get to know who your followers are, and who are those that are going to engage the most with your content, with your business or your organization. So you're able to really identify the tone, the language, the culture of your target audience through social media. So that's a great way to use social media as well. You're able to tell your brand story. Working with nonprofits here in Omaha, it's important that we're sharing the mission. We're helping people to understand why it's important to have an organization like some of the ones that I work with. So we're able to tell effective stories through social media, and that's something that you can do as well for your business or your organization. You're able to really tell a story through your posts, through your content, through your engagement that really helps people to create a personality for your business in their head. And so that they really connect with you in the most effective way. This goes back to kind of what we were saying earlier. Another thing that social media is good for is gathering data from audience research to improve. So this kind of talks about the social listening, but it also it's about like searching for your keywords your audience will be using, but it's more focused on your specific product. Um, so it's more is focused on not just knowing the culture, but if you put out a product, for example, you're able to really get people's feedback through Instagram polls, through Twitter polls, through just having conversations about a specific product. So this is social listening would be an um, overall idea of what your audience and your target audience, target customers are. But when you're gathering data for research through social media, you can also think about doing that for specific products as well. So that will help you to improve on your products if you're really paying attention to what people are saying and asking the right questions, and having those conversations with your customers, with your followers. Social media is also a great customer service tool. You're able to have quicker interactions with your customers and keeping them happy. You're able to talk with them, have conversations with them in order to make sure that you're providing the best service as possible. So social media allows for immediate interaction and customer feedback. Businesses or your organization can respond to the customers right away. I know that Facebook has, and we'll talk about this as we go through the rest of our weeks, but Facebook has a response time where it shows your customers how quickly you will respond. And that shows them how dedicated you are to interacting with them. So those are certain tools that you can use to make sure that you're providing exceptional customer service. And social media is definitely a great tool for that. This kind of ties into the customer service, but social media also helps you build customer loyalty. Yes, by the way, someone put in the chat, are we muted and are our cameras off? Yes, they are. You are. This is a webinar, so I think that I am the only one that is seen and heard on this right now. So building customer loyalty. Customers that follow and interact with your brand and are ones that are going to enjoy your content. So it's interesting. I read a article, and I can share this in the chat as well. but give me a second. It's on Convince and Convert. The title is 53% of Americans who follow brands on social media are more loyal to those brands. So it shares some research about the importance and the connection with people when they have a social media presence. The connection a business or an organization has to their followers and to their customers when they have an effective social media plan. So this is important. I'll drop this in the chat so you guys can read this in your spare time. But it gives great information about why it's important to have a social media presence that's interesting, that people want to engage with, because that's what's going to translate into their loyalty to your company. So read that article, and then you'll learn a little bit more about what I'm talking about. Social media is also a great way to increase traffic to your website or your blog. So when you are selling products, or I don't see the link in the chat window. Oh, I shared it with all panelists. Let me share it with all panelists and attendees. There's the link. So you guys should be able to see the link from what I was talking about earlier. So driving traffic to your website or your blog. So if you're selling a product or a service, social media is a great tool in order to drive people to your website in order to subscribe to your services or to buy your products. If you're an information based business or organization, then people are able to subscribe to your blog and be directed to that information or those products and services. So social media is an amazing way to drive traffic to your site or your blog. Social media also, when it comes to building again, I'm a web developer, so I help build websites for small businesses and nonprofits. So one of the biggest things when we're talking about SEO, when we're talking about link building, social media has a indirect impact on your SEO. So your SEO is your search engine optimization. So if someone was to go into Google and search your business, most likely Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those things are going to pop up first. So you want to make sure that you have social media, because those are going to help people be directed to your business. And it's really effective when you're trying to rank higher on Google, when you link social media to your website and use that to drive traffic there. A great perk, one second. It's still winter, so I gotta drink some tea so I can talk. A great perk is that social media is free. So you're able to connect with your followers, connect with your customers for free. And so this is a great way that's different than traditional marketing. I mean, we know that commercials are expensive. We know that billboards are expensive. We know that radio ads are expensive. But Facebook's a way that you can start for free, and you can continue to grow your audience through Facebook without spending any money. So it's a great way to grow your business without spending any money. Another thing that social media does for your brand is it establishes you as an expert. I mean, it establishes you as a topical authority. So when you're sharing information, you're sharing content, you're sharing facts about a product or a service, the more you share, the more you have established yourself as a topical authority. So the more you use social media to post relevant content, the more search engines will pick up on your authority on that subject. So again, if you were an information-based organization and you wanted to share information, social media is a great way to continue to post relevant content. So then when someone goes and searches Google, and they ask a question, the more content that you've posted that's relevant and has linked to your website per se, will show up on Google, and you're able to share your information and connect with your followers more the more you post relevant content. So you're creating yourself, you're you're setting yourself up to be a topical authority on social media as well. And we're going to get to these questions. I know I see a couple. I see one. We'll get to these questions towards the end. Give me one. And one of the last things is that it helps you drive conversions. I kind of talked about this before, but it's helping you sell your products, sell your services. Social media is a great way to drive traffic, like I said, to your site or your website. But it's when we'll talk about this later, I think in week 6, don't quote me on that. I can look up the schedule. We're going to talk about social media advertising fundamentals. So how to set up ads, how to connect with customers and followers through paid ads, and help you drive conversions to your website. So driving conversions is basically just making sales, driving traffic to your site in order to have some turnover in conversions, making sales. So I just want to show you guys quickly how to create a Facebook page, a Facebook account. Most people know how to, but I just want to make sure for everyone that this is clear. So when we go into the next couple weeks, we're able to have these accounts ready so that we know how to use them and we can follow along. Let me just, hey Kim, are you still here? I'm trying to share my screen, but I don't think I'm having
Yeah,
that.
I am just seeing you. You may have, when you hit the share screen, there's options to like do either your actual just like desktop screen or your like, say like the app, like if you're going on Chrome to get on the internet. So you just want to make sure you're choosing one of those. Probably
Okay.
the app. I would have.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen here in a second.
There you go. You got it.
Can you see my entire screen or just the, you can see the Facebook page, right? With my face?
Yes, we can see your, yep, we can see your face and then we can see your login information, everything. Well, not your password, obviously.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's fine. So here's facebook.com. I obviously am logged into my personal account on here, but I'm going to go over here to create a new account. And then we can just sign up. I'm going to sign up, create a new account. This is my business phone number. So if you guys need to send me a text or a call for reference to help, you guys can. I'm just going to make a password up for today as it's going to be DoSpace. I'm going to delete this account after we're done. DoSpace 2021. All right. I don't want to make up a birthday because again, this is your birthday. So your sign up is really easy. By the way, as you can see, you have to obviously be 18 or older. So I'm just going to say I was born in 2000. And then you can sign up. Says invalid. I'm just going to type in an email. That number is probably connected to my other account, actually. So the after LLC@gmail.com. I'm going to sign up. And it sends you a code to your email. I'm going to save this password. So once you get a code to your email, and I'm on my phone, so it's going to pop up as a, you type that in, just to confirm your email. I'm going to allow notifications. Then voila, you've created a Facebook page, a Facebook profile. So this is when you set up Facebook, and we'll talk about this when our next course, which is optimizing social media profiles. When you set it up, it's really intuitive. It helps you walk through all of the steps, adding a picture, adding information, adding friends, adding contacts, all of those things. It pretty much walks you through, but we'll walk through that next week on our course over optimizing social media profiles. So that's how you create a Facebook page. And if you guys have any questions of that, we can go over that again. A Facebook profile, sorry, I keep saying page. Facebook profile, we'll go over creating pages on Facebook and optimize our social media profiles next week. But that's how you basically create a Facebook profile. I'm going to show you guys Instagram and Twitter really quick. Let's go to Instagram.com. Instagram is a tool that's better used, in my opinion, on mobile. You're not able to upload photos and videos and things and content on Instagram through the desktop site, but you are able to create let me log out of this. I'm just going to switch accounts. Actually, I can't. I have to log out to create a new one. All right, so this is Instagram. Let me go back, sorry. So down here, when you come to Instagram.com, it'll say, don't have an account, and you want to click sign up. And after you created a Facebook profile, you can actually just log in with your Facebook. And you can continue as yourself. It'll ask for permission. Would you like to access your Facebook account? Say continue as Miles. And then I can create a username. I'm going to say Miles do space. And I'm going to do space. Yeah, that's not password. So once you have the gray check marks, shows you that those names are available, that you see here. So once you have that, then once that's they've said that you can use that, then that's your username. You can't always change your username. And again, we'll talk about that in optimizing your social media profiles, which is next week. This is terms of use, data policy, things like that. So you can read that here. You can read the terms and the data policy. And just shows you all the things that you're able to do on Instagram and you're not able to do on Instagram. So we can go back to Instagram. You can also change the language down there as well. So when you open Instagram, they'll give you suggestions for follow. Usually they're mostly celebrities. But yeah, you'll be able to do that. Your profile is over here. You can click your profile. Obviously, I haven't posted anything. But here's my profile. So that's how you can create a Facebook page or an Instagram page with Facebook. It's very similar if you don't go through Facebook, all you have to do is type in your email as the additional information and your birth date instead of creating it through Facebook. Another and we'll move on. Am I moving too fast for you guys? Let me check the chat really quick. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second. Okay. Some people say I'm going a little fast. I'm sorry about that. But we will this will be recorded, and we also will go over a lot of these things in more detail. I know people are asking, will I go into more detail about certain things? And yes, in the coming weeks, when we go into specific topics surrounding social media and its practices, we'll be able to answer a lot more of those questions for you guys. So sorry, I'm going a little bit fast, but again, this is recorded. And it's really just an introduction today, and we're going to be able to go in more detail in the coming weeks. So that's Instagram. Let's move into Twitter. The reason I'm showing you guys how to make these accounts is although there are other social media platforms that are very useful and effective, when we're thinking about time and we're thinking about what are the most readily used social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are. So we're just going to focus on those throughout this course so that we can make sure you guys have a comprehensive understanding of those social media platforms through this course for the next few weeks. So I'm gonna go to Twitter. Twitter.com. Again, once you go to twitter.com, it says that you can log in or sign up or log in. We'll want to sign up. Again, it's very simple to create these accounts. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to delete these as well. Again, you type in your phone number for Twitter. That is not my middle name, by the way. I don't know why it puts my dad's name in the middle of my name on this computer. Again, I'm just going to put in a random date, make sure I'm over 18. Click next.
Miles, it doesn't look like we are seeing the Twitter. We're still on Instagram. I think there we go.
Can you see it now?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep, you're good to go.
I'm gonna go back. So you guys didn't miss that. I'm sorry, I paused. I'm an expert on these social media. Now Zoom is a different story. So creating an account on social media or on Twitter, I'll start this over. So this is twitter.com. Again, you have the option to sign up or log in. You can click sign up. Again, it's really simple, typing in your name, your phone number, and these things, you can change the privacy. People won't be able to see your phone number or your birth date or any of those things if you change the privacy. And we can go back into that next week when we talk about optimizing your social media profile. So we'll talk about privacy settings and all of that as well. So I click next, I put my birth date in, customize your experience. This again it says Twitter uses this data, you're able to go and personalize it as you want to. So it'll walk you through that. And then I'll sign up. I'll have to verify my phone through a text message. So I'm going to get a text message on my phone. And I'm going to type that number in. Takes me to create a password. Just going to do DoSpace 2021. It created a username for me, but I can go back and change that later, and we'll talk about how to do that and optimizing your social media profiles. I'm just going to skip, which is next week. I'm just going to skip for now the profile picture and the description about myself. So this would be the bio. Here is what you're interested in. So if you're starting a business, say you're a clothing business, you can type clothing sales. it'll bring up, you can type clothing, store deals, any of those things, and it'll bring it up, and you're able to add it to what you're interested in. So when it gives you suggestions on profiles to follow, then it'll go based off of the things that you say you're interested in. So that's cool. And then there I put clothing, so the next page shows me things that are related to that topic, so that I can start following and connecting and engaging with other social media profiles or Twitter profiles that are similar to my industry or similar to things that I'm interested in. You can turn on notifications. I'm going to allow notifications. And voila, there's your Twitter profile. So that's how you start a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook profile. Again, this is recorded. And we're going to go into more detail about really setting these up. So next week, so profile pictures, we're going to talk about creating bios. We're going to talk about linking your website. We're going to talk about privacy settings. So make sure you join us next week when we go through that, so that we can really give you guys a real comprehensive understanding of creating social media profiles. I just wanted you guys to see how to make the accounts. So when we come next week, you'll have those accounts ready, so that you can follow along and making sure we're optimizing those correctly. I will go to the questions for now. I'll stop sharing my screen. Does anyone have any questions?
There are questions both in the Q&A and in the chat.
Okay. I'll start with the questions in the chat. So the first one I see from Dana, I'm sorry if I'm saying these names wrong, but first one I see is, how important is it to church organizations? So social media is powerful for many different types of organizations. When it comes to church or nonprofits, generally you're spreading information, you're spreading events, trying to connect with your followers or your fellowship. So that's a really easy way to do it through social media. And we're going to talk about engagement in a few weeks. So that's a way that social media is a great tool to be able to engage with your fellowship. So it's a great for church organizations. Will the participants receive any handouts or outline for the sessions, including today's? So I don't have a written outline. However, I will have for the coming weeks a list of resources that I will share with you guys. That will, like I shared a link to the website that I read the article on. I'll have a list of resources for next week and the following weeks. So that'll be kind of the handout that you guys can have, as well as you can check out theafterllc.com, and we have some blogs that discuss some of these things as well. Can you sign up with the name of or your org only? You can sign up with your organization name. So on Facebook, it is a personal profile. So you sign up with your personal information. However, Instagram and Twitter, you can sign up just off of your organization or business name. Facebook, you have to create a page, and we'll talk about all of that in optimizing your social media profiles. Facebook's the only one that goes from personal, and you can create a page for your business or organization. So we'll talk about that next week as well. So make sure you join us at 11 a.m. on Wednesday next week, so we can talk about how to create a Facebook or Instagram or Twitter with your organization only. I'd like to see how to create a private group associated with your business. Facebook page, not necessarily today, but at some point during the course. Yeah, so we're going to talk about creating a business Facebook page and optimizing your social media profiles next week. So I hope that we will answer your questions. If you come back next week, you can always continue to ask questions and we can make sure that we're getting you answers or some resources. Will we be making business accounts or personal? Again, Facebook's the only one you have to make a personal account. You don't have to have, it doesn't have to be your government name or your legal name. It could be anything. But you create a personal account in order to create a business page. But Instagram and Twitter, you can directly create a business page without it being personal at all. Okay. I think, did I miss any questions in the chat, Kim? Oh, there's one that says, ooh, keep skipping past it. One second. On sessions that are in conflict with my schedule, how can I find the recording? These will be available on Do Spaces YouTube, correct, Kim?
Yes,
The
they
recordings
will.
for
So
the,
it takes a few days just to get it edited and posted on our YouTube channel, but it will get posted on our YouTube channel a few days after today, and it definitely will get posted before next week's session. So keep an eye out for that for all of our YouTube or for all of our webinar, for all of our sessions, including this one and all of our webinars. And I think in terms of that, we're good. I think it looks like
there's
Dana
one
had one
more.
more. Yep.
Yep, there's a couple coming in too. So Dana says, would like to see integration between Zoom and Facebook Live. That's a great thing. I don't think we'll get to that in this course. However, I can send you some resources, Dana, if you send me an email to info, and I'll put my email in the chat. And I'm always available to talk and answer some questions that may not be covered in this course or this series, if possible. So please just send me an email, and I can let you know if we're going to cover it in the course or if I can send you some resources. We will not be looking at YouTube. However, I can share with you guys some resources as well if you send me an email. We will not be looking at YouTube in this series. Just for the sake of time, we won't be going over all of the social media platforms, only Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, I think that's all the ones in the chat. If you want to move over to the Q&A, and then I'll let you know if we have any more in the chat.
Okay, cool. So Tom says, it seems like there needs to be a strong integration between brand development and brand recognition. How do we tie the two? So brand development and brand recognition, I think that when we're developing a brand, social media is an important first step in creating a online presence. So that's a part of the brand development process, I feel. Now, brand recognition would be the purpose of the social media channels. So I don't really know how how to answer that question. However, I think that brand development is tied into social media, as far as it should be a part of your business plan, should be a part of your brand development plan, and part of the first few steps in that. But then brand recognition is the result that you will get if you use social media effectively. So there is a connection there, and I hope I answered that correctly. MJ says, with the new algorithm, if you are linking off Facebook to your site, if info is not share as much as non-linking posts. MJ, if you can re-ask that question, I'm not really understanding yet how it's written. I think, let me read it out loud again. With the new algorithm, if you are linking off Facebook to your site, if info is not share as much as non-linking posts. I'm not sure how to answer that question, MJ. If you want to re-ask that or send me an email, I can give you some more information on what you're looking for. Fanny, it says, do I need to be an illustrator or have special camera to create ads? No, you don't. And we're going to talk about some of the apps that I use that are really easy, that help me create ads and help me create ads for clients and partners. So we're going to talk about that in fundamentals for social media ads, which is our last course in this series. And it says, do you need to hire a specialist? I think that getting started, we're going to teach people that maybe limited resources or time, or have the ability to do some of these things themselves. We're going to be showing you guys how to start, how to tackle some of the more simpler tasks. As a business or organization grows, I feel like it is, it can be, I shouldn't say it is, it can be effective and worth the time and the resources to hire a professional to run your social media accounts in order to really grow brand recognition, connect and engage with your followers. Sometimes a specialist can devote more time and more insight towards those things, so you're able to be more effective in your social media accounts. So that's what I would say when it comes to, do you need to hire a specialist? Last question, it says, from ISIS, could you please include a link to your website? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Kim, my email. If you want to, I'm not sure if I'm not sharing it to everybody.
Oh no, you
Oh,
are.
I'm sending it specifically to one person.
Okay.
Maybe if DoSpace does they do a Zoom training, right? I've seen that. I can take the Zoom training.
We also, yeah. Everybody's got to learn a little bit of everything, right? There was
Right.
another question from Vince. What is your experience with Reddit?
Reddit, I know how to use it. I don't typically use it when I'm helping brands to promote their business. Not because it's not effective, but it's just not something that I specialize in. So I do have some resources surrounding Reddit that I could share with you if you email me, but I am not a Reddit specialist, if that's a good answer. Follow up from Tom. Your answer indicated to me that you, as a social media developer, must work closely with your clients and understand their products. Yes, yes, of course. Yes, of course. I have to understand their products in order to create ads, in order to create engaging social post. So yes, it's definitely working closely with your clients and understanding what they do, what they offer, who they are. That's important. Megan, why would a business use Reddit? For many reasons. I'm not a Reddit specialist, so I do not want to speak on why a business will use Reddit. I do have some resources that I can share that I should brush up on as well. So if you email me and want to know more about Reddit, I can share some notable and reputable sources that can share a little bit more information about Reddit for you.
Okay, and then Miles, it looks like he says that the website, the afterllc.com has expired.
Okay. It's a new year. I'm sorry, guys. I got a new credit card last year, so I will fix that right now. So give it 5 minutes and then it will be back up for you guys to look at that. They must have done that today. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat. Oh, maybe. Amissa says, do I need to have an account on all social media?
Do you need to have an account on all social media? We're going to talk about what specific social in the coming weeks, what specific social medias are used for what. So we're going to talk about Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and what their strengths are and what they help businesses to accomplish. And then you can kind of choose from that information what will work best for you and your business. Because some people just use Twitter, some people just use Facebook, some people just use Instagram, and some use all three. And there's benefits from doing all of that. So we'll talk about those things, and it'll help you make a decision whether or which social media platforms you will use for your business or your organization. I think my site is back up, so you're able to go to that. Thank you for letting me know. Someone will check it for me. And oh, yes, I think it is back up. Maybe not. It will be soon. I just paid for it, so should be up soon, and you'll be able to go there.
Got one more
Yeah.
in the Q&A.
Jennifer says, do you have a preference on social media management sites such as Buffer? I am Hootsuite certified, so I use Hootsuite and I train on the Hootsuite platform. We're going to be using Hootsuite in this course, so I'll be showing you guys how to use certain features of that, which have been replicated or have come before Hootsuite. There's certain programs that are similar that will serve the same function. I'm not familiar with Buffer. I've heard of it, but I'm not certified in that. I'm certified in Hootsuite. So we're going to talk about Hootsuite as our social media management platform.
Okay, any other questions for Miles for this week? Give it maybe 20 more seconds for you to get any last minute questions in. I may have said minutes and not seconds. I meant 20 more seconds.
Oh, okay.
If we don't have any questions, we won't make you all stay until noon. Okay, well, perfect. Well, I am not seeing any, but if you guys have any, if you have any other questions that maybe you think of later between today and next week, please feel free, I'm sure, to email Miles. We've put his email several times in the chat, but again, it's info@theafterllc.com. So you can email him there, and we will continue next week with our part 2 of our series. So thank you so much, Miles. And just as a reminder, please register again if you would like to participate in all of this series of our 7-part series. You do need to register for each class. Registering one doesn't register for you the entire series. So just as an FYI. So hopefully we will see all or most of you next week.
Awesome. And next week, just to reiterate, is optimizing your social media profiles. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miles. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.